Welcome back to your favorite Gigguk reaction channel. Because let's face it, this channel has become a Gigguk reaction channel. That is the third upload in a row that is Gigguk related. Gigguk just uploaded Shield Hero, the rising of the Isekai genre, so we're gonna react to that and probably die of all the sarcasm in that video. And of course, remember to praise Gigguk in the comment section. Yes, feed me your delicious content, Gigguk.
Lord help me! I'm burning an Isekai hell and I can't find another world to transport myself out of it! I'm just gonna jump into this one. I'm sure you're now as bored as I am, just wondering why the Isekai genre is still as dominant as anime. It feels weird to think that just a few years ago, I'd never even heard of the word. And nowadays, I'm more like, Sifi? Micha? What are these make-believe genres that don't exist in anime? And hot off the heels of Slimy Boy worming its way into all our hearts, we now have the rising of the Shield Hero, dominating in popularity both in Japan and here in the West, showing us that Isekai is far from dead. And you know, I've just come to accept that. You know, Isekai doesn't die. Just reincarnates into another show. But his popularity has got me thinking about the dominant journey Isekai has taken in this past decade, and I wanted to use this video not only to discuss what could be appealing about Shield Hero to make it as popular as it is, but also how it fits in with the evolution of the genre so far and what it could mean for the future. The current Isekai era was arguably started with the massive success of Sword Art Online and has since then dominated anime, with a big show coming out every year or two and lots and lots and lots of others in between. With how strongly the tropes and cliches have been established in Isekai, it's easy to forget that the genre has existed for far longer than that, and it didn't always have the same trademarks it does now. I've actually already made a video detailing the history of it if you haven't watched it already. But one important thing to note with the recent successful shows is that they seem to come from a place that understands the core appeal of modern Isekai, and in a sense has taken that foundation and built on it in a different way. Konosuba is basically a sitcom set in an Isekai. ReZero sets about deconstructing the overpowered otaku protagonist archetype. Overlord asks what would happen if we follow the bad guy. Slime refines all the tropes into a wholesome package, and that brings me to Shield Hero, which follows this evolution the genre has taken. See, one thing that's definitely changed is the general driving force that moves the plot. Early Isekai revolved around the idea of characters trying to get back to their original world, but nowadays Isekai has fully embraced that in this self-insert escapist fantasy, a lot of people wouldn't have much interest in going home. The overabundance of otaku protagonists is what lends itself to making this work. The protagonists are happy to remain in the fantasy world, because why would the hero want to return to solitude and boredom when they're living out the rockstar lifestyle? He also understands that this is what the audience would likely do themselves if presented with such a world. Shield Hero takes his self-awareness a step even further and makes everyone just nonchalantly accept that they've been transported to another world, immediately accept that they're on some kind of world-saving quest, and just know that this works like a video game. Despite the fact that he got sucked into a book. Is anyone gonna address that?
How does that work?
Alright. Which is actually weirdly refreshing to see. Everyone is so familiar with this ongoing concept that we, as an audience, aren't surprised anymore, and thus having an in-depth explanation and an air of shock would just be jarring and dull. Like, you know that moment in zombie movies when the undead start appearing and eating people, and the in-universe characters are like, what? What's this? What are these things? What should we call them? I know. Maybe we'll call them biters because they bite. And you're there
walkers because they walk.
Zombie, you dickhead! Just how the fuck do you not know what a zombie is? Isekai has become so prevalent that if tomorrow any of you got transported to some fantasy world, I guarantee your first reaction would be, wait a minute, is this?
It's like one of my Japanese anime.
That's basically what happens here. It's firmly established in Shield Hero that he's familiar with the tropes of Isekai, and that cuts out so much of the needless faff at the beginning and just gets straight to the point. And that starting point is that we have 4 Isekai heroes, each with a different legendary weapon that's been tasked to save the kingdom from a wave of monsters that will attack periodically. And see, that's how you know the source material was written in 2013, because it's just Isekai Horde mode. And if it was actually written recently, we just have a bunch of heroes summoned for Isekai Battle Royale, which I'm surprised doesn't exist.
How does that not exist?
Wait a minute. Isekai Battle Royale. Oh no! Oh god, it was an Isekai all along! The gimmick this time is that our protagonist has a shield so he can only focus on defense, and as far as gimmicks goes, that's pretty standard compared to the other things we've seen, but really the initial thing that makes Shield Hero stand out is how they handle our main character's starting point. Now Fumi, the Shield Hero, has taken down a few pegs in the first episode, and by taking down a few pegs, I mean he tripped over, fell down a flight of stairs, found out those stairs led to an edge of a cliff, plummeted off the cliff into some jagged rocks, got swept away almost drowning in the ocean before washing up on shore, only then to realize that he never even got laid. He gets absolutely fucked over and dicked on left, right and center and ends up hated by everyone. Yeah, he quickly does become powerful, but nothing's made easy for him. He isn't this shining prince that saves the day and gets adored by everyone around him. He has to work harder than his peers to make ends meet, and what makes it compelling is that he isn't always acting morally just. He rightly lashes out and uses underhanded tactics against the world that hates him. He buys slaves, and every so often he'll act in a certain way that makes you think, see, I'm not sure if you're just being edgy or just being a dick. Yet when push comes to shove, he still acts more heroic than the other heroes, and you do sympathize with the bitterness he feels from the situation he's been put in. Because he starts at such a deficit, it's entirely up to him and his actions to prove to the people around him what his true character is. And this is the perfect setup to see a really satisfactory hero's journey as he rises up, truly winning the hearts of the people. Hence the title, The Rising of the Shield Hero. And that's the call for celebration, people. It's a light novel title that's short, relevant, and encapsulates what the series is about.
What is this?
What is this revolutionary technique we've never
That's copyrighted.
before? But I wouldn't be telling the full story if I said that seeing Naofumi's rise is the only reason everyone's watching this, because I think equally important is the promise of seeing certain other people fall.
I know the memes.
Alright, I consider myself a pretty chill and laid back guy. It's hard to get on my nerves, and even if you do, I'm sure we can talk it out and move past any problem we have. I believe the world would be a much better place if we could solve our issues in a civilized manner. But dear God, I hope this fucking bitch dies in a fire! Shield Hero is a rare instance of an Isekai that has an actual antagonist in it. Mine and the King make you question whether this kingdom is worth saving or burning everything to the ground, and Chad Spearsman is so frustratingly naive and has that kind of face only a fist could love. Sure, they aren't exactly the deepest and most unique characters out there, but they fill their purpose very well. It's been a while since I've seen characters that has brought up genuine anger and frustration in me. Halfway through episode 4, I thought I would actually need to take some anger management classes, or at least print out a cutout of mine and but as weird as that
I should not watch this anime. I get angry easily.
Series. These are characters we love to hate, and seeing any kind of victory, no matter how small, is extremely satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right! To address the elephant in the room, there's been a lot of controversy around her mind turned everyone against Naofumi in the first place. What I will say is that it was a very quick and effective method in making you absolutely despise this one character and establishing the setup for the show. And I don't think it's trying to do any more than just that. So I think that's pretty much all the main reasons everyone's watching this show.
Oh my God! Of course!
Alright! It wouldn't be a proper isekai without some seasonal girls to fight over, and this time we of course have the token lolly character in Philo. She's not a 200-year-old vampire this time though, so to be safe, we'll refer to her by codename Thick Chick. And what more can I really say about Raftalia, except I'm considering starting a cryptocurrency around Raftalia.
The orange is 20, I swear.
Because, dear God, this is worth pouring my life savings into. Anyone want to get in on that?
Yeah, sure.
No? Well, there is the alternative. Bitcoin. She does have this strange crush thing going on with Naofumi, but it's cute, you know? It's not weird at all, no matter how Raftalia acts towards Naofumi, because Naofumi just sees her as a daughter, and that's completely fine, because she can still call him daddy. Also, I don't really understand how she transformed from a cute lolly to a woman in a single episode, but you know what? It's probably best not to think about it too deeply. I mean, you know, it's anime, so they play by their own rules, so I'm just gonna leave it there. It's not worth looking into, so I'm going to do the sensible thing and just move on. And that's so far what I can say about why people are being drawn to this show, but as revolutionary as I wished I could say Shield Hero is, it's really not, because to put it in a nutshell, Shield Hero is basically what happens when a character enters the Isekai loading screen and is like, alright, what do I want to do this time? I've done that. Fuck doing that again. I'll just
Oh, that's nice. I really like that.
It's essentially the same package we've all seen before. He'll kick some ass, impress some girls, everyone's gonna get really excited to see what happens next, and then we're gonna be waiting for a season 2 that's never gonna happen. And to me, its immense popularity shows that despite how saturated Isekai has been over the years now, we still apparently aren't bored of it yet. Yes, as much as we complain, we're still Isekai trash. So the question that comes to mind is, what's going to be next? If we think of the modern roots of the genre of 90s Isekai and stuff like Escaflowne being the first generation, and the big breakout hits setting the trend on fire like SAO being the second, then what I found is all these big Isekai from these past years would be the third and current generation. ReZero, Overlord, No Game No Life, Konosuba, Slime, Shield Hero, every single one of these bigger shows we're familiar with began publishing as light novels around 2012 and 2013, hot off the heels of SAO's adaptation blowing up the community. They are Isekai that have essentially been inspired by Isekai and have each taken their own spin on the genre while very much adhering to the core foundations that were laid out. Some satirized and subverted tropes, some refined the tropes, and some were a mixture of the two. If there is going to be a fourth generation of Isekai anime from some of the newer light novels I've seen floating around, concepts are going to get even fucking weirder. If we look further forward this year, there's going to be Isekai scattered in every season, and if we look at the light novel world, the genre still completely dominates new titles coming out. So however you look at it, I think the message is loud and clear. Isekai is here to stay, and right now it's still Isekai trash. To a much lesser extent, this almost feels like what happened with comic book movies and Hollywood. I remember when The Dark Knight came out, there was a consensus that this was the peak of comic book movies, and audiences were going to slowly start to lose interest because of how saturated the genre had become. And just as that happens, Marvel came along. And I don't think I need to tell you what happens next. So as long as it's here to stay, let's just all embrace the Isekai trash within us, because even though it's overwhelming right now, if you're bored of it, there are plenty of other genres you can watch in anime, because not everything is an Isekai. Why would you do this? Why? No, stop. No one asked you. Can you just go away? And you know what? I'm gonna let it slide this one time, but can we just please stop doing this? Right. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done too. Don't touch Dragon Ball, you piece of shit. Fuck, The Matrix is my favorite Isekai. Oh my god, stop. That was a nice video. Tell me in the comment section if you like Isekai anime. I completely embrace my Isekai trashness. I am an Isekai trash. Gigguk, let me touch your nipples. This is my outro. Click on this video or on this video or something. Get out of here. Go.